Hello, and welcome to Cirak Live, a weekly broadcast of stillness and reconnecting with Source and our inner self. And today we have a fascinating topic. It's how to deal with family pressure, family judgment. But before we get into that, I wanted to spend some time and share a little more detail about the upcoming retreat in India. And a lot of you have asked what the schedule's like, what the speakers are like, and we have some great additions, a great lineup. So I wanted to take a moment and just share all that. There is a number of amazing workshops that are firsts, even for me. India is a place of magic and mystery, and having access to a much deeper field of presence and spirituality that is in the DNA. So life has connected me with some amazing people here. First and foremost, we have Sriyan Staga, who, if you're familiar with India, modern spirituality, you must have come across his name. He'll be a keynote speaker. Really honored to have him share a stage with him. Then we have a workshop on how to write love letters, which is amazing. My great friend Tom Lang is conducting that. He travels the world teaching people how to write love letters. What a unique life he's carved out for himself. And then also we have a 9-year-old world record holder in omniscience, clairvoyance. She, I believe, she went 25 minutes blindfolded on rollerblades without, being able to see. And she'll be on stage, and she'll be able to tell you everything about yourself and past lives, all that, anything you wish to know. So many more great acts are coming. We have ancient Drupad singers. This is a very specific kind of trance-like singing. Really amazing. We'll be under the stars and taking it all in and letting it take us into deep presence. We have half-day noble silence. Maybe, as you already know, my background in Vipassana meditation, 10-day silent retreats. I've taken the pieces that are more accessible and that everyone can experience without feeling like it's too much. So we have noble silence from 6 a.m. to noon every day. And as we know, in stillness, all the answers are found. In stillness, we heal. In stillness, we relax. In stillness, we regenerate. And in stillness, we align with the greater source. Most people walk away wanting to maintain the stillness in their lives. It's such a deep, nurturing experience. And very likely you'll find yourself decluttering your life. And that's a healthy thing. We should purge every so often, every 6 months maybe. Anyways, to get the material weight off of our shoulders, because it all attaches to energy, and we don't realize what we're carrying around with us. Even though it might be in the garage or in the attic, it still weighs us down energetically. And this is really the theme of my retreats. It cultivates a sense of clarity, an inner knowing. This is not a mental knowing, it's a felt knowing, a felt resonance of what's true for you. Your resonance is different from the next person's. Everyone has their own unique blueprint. So when you see something that really resonates, that's what you feel. That is your blueprint. And when you live by that, it's a perfect GPS. It's such a simple design to life. Then your calling, your journey starts to unfold very naturally, very organically. You don't have to stress. You can sit back and just enjoy the journey, let it all unfold, show up and be present with what's there, no longer reacting, wanting things that have already happened to be different. So we also have, of course, meditations, but it's a 360 wellness experience. So it's not just the spiritual health, but we also have conscious movement classes. Every single day we start with myself teaching a round of Qigong, which is just energetic led light movement. And then later in the day, we have Ati, who leads the conscious movement, again, letting your intuition take over, letting your body speak for itself. And you'll be amazed how another energy takes over that isn't you trying to control it. We also have walking meditations. We have a hike up a hill where there's a shala overlooking the valley. Pyramid Valley is really a magical place. And the energy there that has been cultivated by thousands and thousands of previous attendees is tangible. The pyramid can hold over 2,000 people, and has a king's chamber in the middle, which forms an energy vortex. So if you want an extra dose, then you can climb up there and just find yourself at the center of it all. What makes this retreat extra special, and this is the first possibly globally, certainly when it comes to spiritual retreats, is that you'll be learning to eat according to your body type. Again, this is a 360 experience, and many spiritual retreats, you might be doing the meditation, you might be doing the yoga, but then the food is left up to you, and it's easy to fall into old patterns and just not eat so consciously. Well, we've taken it a step further and designed a menu that, based on your quiz results, you have a certain body type, a certain dosha, and when you have meals, you get to choose from the ingredients that are suitable for you. In just 5 days, you will feel a remarkable difference, and you'll take that home with you. So it's a transformative experience at all levels, spiritually, deepening you, presence, getting comfortable with the unknown so you can co-create, emotionally, just cleansing, just letting go, and physically, starting to become more aware of how your body is tuned and what it responds to, and then eating accordingly. Together, these three are the trifecta of health and wellness, and you'll be experiencing all of that. Now, on top of that, it doesn't end there. We will be doing extensive energy healing sessions led by myself. And this is a technique of somatic journeying that I've developed over the years, where we enter the body through a guided meditation, and we bring the light of your awareness to all the layers of stuck energy that are what, when you feel triggered, is what's blocking us from renewing ourselves, from moving forward, from going beyond our limiting beliefs. And stuck energy is essentially a buildup of reactivity, our mind judging things, good and bad, right and wrong, for me, against me, true or false. When every thought and every feeling that comes along is bombarded with judgment, it creates a huge amount of resistance, many, many layers of stuckness inside of us. Even positive judgment is a form of clinging, and that doesn't allow the energy to leave you. So whether it's resisting what you're feeling or clinging to what you're feeling, in both cases, there's a buildup of energy that will weigh you down, will hold you back, and will keep you repeating the past until you find a way to release it. So we have Ati here, who will be designing and leading the nutrition program, the eating by your body type. So come join. Yeah, have a seat. No, you don't need it.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Ati, and as Chris mentioned, this will be the first retreat where we are going to organize it according to the body type, and we'll be leading a dietary quiz first beforehand. So before the retreat, everyone will do a quick online quiz to determine what their body type is, and then according to that, then you will be eating and you'll be training and basically living according to your body type during this 5-day retreat. And this will give you a chance to really feel how it's like to be fully realigned physically. And it will also help you to have a better mental and spiritual experience, because as you know, everything is holistic. So you want to work on all your bodies, your spiritual body, your physical body, your mental body. Everything should be always together. So you will know more about it, that what the body types are and how it works. But generally, we have three major body types, and which are different in terms of dietary requirements. There are the type 1, which is the paleo type or the carnivore. And then we have the type 2 vegan or plant-based. And then we have the type 3, the mixed type. But also we have different dosha types, kapha, pitta, vata, which is the, according to Ayurveda, these are the different types of the bodies. So you will know a lot more about it later on. And you will enjoy a very unique experience following these tips and these advices. So do you want me to add any? Yes, I will just hand over to Chris, and hopefully I will see you all there. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so on to our today's live stream. Our question, we'll keep it a little shorter than usual. I know many of you want that weekly meditation that we usually do at the end of this. I will do a shortened version of it, and that way we can have the enough time to talk about the topic. So how to deal with family pressure, family judgment when we're finding ourselves as black sheep, when we're finding ourselves as outcasts, and we come home from these spiritual retreats and we in general have an inclination to go deeper and not repeat the patterns of the past blindly. A lot of what we suffer from is not even our own life's issues, it's the unlived life of our parents. And when you're healing yourself, you ultimately wind up healing your lineage. So the work is never done. And once you go beyond that, generational, epigenetics, and broader society. So you become a healing machine once you heal yourself, whether you like it or not. All right. Our issues and challenges with other people primarily come from us wanting them to be somebody they're not. So your resistance to somebody in your family, for example, because they perhaps don't see it the way you do, perhaps you think they're less conscious, perhaps you can see their blind behavioral patterns and you wish they were different and that they could just wake up and listen to you. If you probably remember as a kid, nothing your parents ever said to you is what you absorbed. It's how they carried themselves. It's an energetic thing. Anything they said, most likely you resisted. The head starts to kick in and the ego starts to defend itself. But how they carry themselves, how they resolve conflict, how they deal with each other in life, that is what we absorb to whatever we're capable of. And that is really the solution to how to bring the light of awareness into your family. You have to be able to pull back your judgment of them. You can't expect them to change, but you can do your part because 50% of the equation is you holding them in place. So when you pull back your side of things and just let them be, again, you can't expect it, but you'll be surprised most of the time that it invites change, positive change into the relationship. You might even encounter a family member saying things like, why aren't you resisting me anymore? Why aren't you pushing back? They're so used to the pushback, the butting of heads, of locking of horns, that suddenly when you no longer do that, there's an opening there, there's a space. And at first that can create some discomfort on all sides. But very soon that space starts to breathe, life, aliveness, and a certain humanity and humility into the relationship. Now, letting other people be begins with your ability to let yourself be. If you can only love others to the degree that you love yourself, you can only free others once you've freed yourself. So it all begins with yourself. And I too had to remove myself from my home environment and go and work on myself. And then when I came back, I was surprised that I had like the perfect family. It's like, what happened? What changed? Well, I had changed. So working on yourself, being able to accept yourself as you are, who you are, where you are, that is how we positively impact others. This is how we bring the light of awareness into their lives. Just letting people be, just being a listener, recognizing the experience they're seeking to have. If you can tune into what their soul needs, what their soul beyond the human shell, beyond the form, is here to experience. It doesn't matter if you're from the same family, if you fell off the same tree, no two apples are alike. And you'll find that you might have a sibling and they're completely different. Well, if you go according to form, you'll always be in resistance and clash. But if you can tune into what they are here to experience, then you can hold space for that. You can support that and allow them to move through that. If you introduce resistance to who they are, then they stay stuck longer, then they become defensive, then they don't want to change because they're always in fighting mode. So the most important thing is taking some time, as we're going to do with this retreat, to really focus on your own inner wisdom, your own inner being. And it does take an occasional, maybe once a year, twice a year, isolation to give that a real good boost. We all live very busy lives. And although you can apply presence to every situation, it's akin to going to the gym to build your awareness muscle, right? You don't go to the gym and bench press 300 kilograms right away. You go to the gym and you start with small weights. So likewise, when you start meditating, you start slowly and gradually and work your way up to greater capacity, greater ability to hold presence. And then you bring that into your life. I often have people ask, they want to change their jobs, they want to move to a new city, they want to move to a new country, they want to leave the relationship, and because they feel stuck and they don't know what to do next. And I always say, learn to do what you're already doing with more presence, with more intention, with more in tuneness with yourself, and then go from there. Because you might very well become and realize you're an amazing manager, but you've been stuck because you're suffering from imposter syndrome. You might become an amazing partner because you've now released the trauma of childhood and growing up with perhaps a dysfunctional home. So getting these things out of the way is key to applying yourself in a more meaningful way. And then you can see. You might find that, yes, more drastic changes are needed, but very often you might find that what you have is already amazing. Your life is perfect the way it is. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And that can be found in the littlest things. Pouring yourself a cup of coffee. Is your mind racing to the next moment, to the next item on your to-do list? Or are you smelling the aroma? If you're feeling the heat of the mug, are you enjoying the memories of where you got the coffee beans? When you pick out clothes in the morning, are you stressed and just randomly picking out whatever you see first? Or are you tuning into how do you feel? Wow, what are your sensations like today? And then matching that, bringing awareness even into the clothes you choose to wear, and then taking that into the day. With awareness, you're going to start cultivating a higher and higher frequency in every little thing that you do, and then let that guide the way. We're not here to prescribe any particular path, to predict the future. No one can. It's one of my favorite questions. Can you predict the future? To this day, no one has raised their hands. yet we continue to live as if we do. We have someone raising their hand just there. Can you predict the future? To a certain extent. Oh, not bad. My friend Chris. So, to a certain extent, but to a certain extent, we have to be able to let go and be comfortable with the unknown. The unknown is newness, it's freshness, it's not knowledge. Knowledge is the past, it's stale, it's what you already have lived through, it's repeating what you already know. But every decision needs to be infused with the aliveness of the unknown moment, the uncertainty. In Deepak Chopra's book, Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, one of those laws is when you notice the discomfort of uncertainty, that is a sign that you're on the edge of source. You're in that gap between the formless becoming form, the gap between the unknown becoming known, the intangible becoming felt. And there's that space. If you can live in that space, you are at the most potent point of life unfolding. And you don't need to think about the past or think about the future. That's just baggage, and it's just projections. I always say in the beginning of our spiritual journey of self-realization, we get upset that life is getting in the way of the things we imagine. And then as you move along, you realize we can't imagine our best life. You can only manifest, even when it comes to manifestation, from who you currently are. In order to access what's beyond who you currently are, you need to have a relationship with Source. And that is the uncertainty, that is the holding space for the unknown, inviting the next moment, not lingering on the one that has already passed. Nothing that's already happened has ever changed from you wanting it to be different. All right. We're going to do a short meditation on Anapana. I call it thought awareness. And this is one of the most powerful meditations, yet most simplest meditations. Ram Dass, at the end of his life, after everything he went through, everything he tried, came back to, this is all you need, just practicing awareness of your thoughts, because it's primarily the monkey mind getting in the way of our presence. That's where our overthinking hijacks our ability to co-create. That's where we get lost in thought and spend 2/3, 3/4, maybe even more of our life lost in thought, not being here, not being present. That's a tremendous amount of time that we're actually not here, not alive. So regaining some of that, even just 5 or 10%, will add years of actual lived time back to your life. In this exercise, we're going to focus on the incoming and outgoing breath at the entrance of our nostrils. Most likely within a few seconds, you'll feel your mind drifting. When you notice that your mind has drifted, that is a key moment. Do you react with frustration? Why can't I keep my mind focused? Why is it all over the place? What kind of mind is this? How can I operate with something so fickle? Or do you accept my mind has drifted, and then take clear action and return your attention back to where you were focused on last? This is a microcosm of what happens all day long when you see something that isn't the way you want it. Do you react with resistance, or do you accept and take action? This is a key piece that many beginning meditators don't understand, that mindfulness is not about passivity. It's not about being a doormat for life and just accepting whatever comes along. No, its purpose is to keep a clear mind, an equanimous mind, so that you can feel what you need to feel, allow your sensations to arise and pass, and then feel the resonance of the situation. The situation, in a way, it speaks to you and calls for certain action, and even inaction can be action. That is what's meant to dance with life. So practicing this, even just a few minutes a day, will shift your entire nervous system, because reactivity is a question of uh, the wiring of our minds. And when you can come out of that, the physiological wiring, then you can keep a clear head and respond and take action and move forward as quickly as possible. Acceptance is not staying stuck with what is, it's actually what moves you forward the quickest. And acceptance is not a mental exercise, it's not mental acrobatics of somehow reframing, somehow believing things from a different angle. Acceptance is accepting how you feel about the situation, allowing your feelings to rise and pass. And when you can get good at that, then you realize that 90%, 95% of your reactivity is your story that we put on top of the actual sensations. Sometimes people are afraid that, oh no, if I let myself feel a feeling, that it's going to be hurtful, it's going to be overwhelming. There are some instances where deep trauma requires a greater support system, but for most of our reactivity, it's the all everyday little things. And for that, all we need to do is learn to observe our sensations. Accepting is key. Yes, Laura. All right, so let's do this together. It's only about a 10 or 12-minute meditation. And again, when your mind is drifted and you notice frustration, it's okay. And if you can come out of that frustration even just a few seconds sooner, then that's already tremendous growth. Let's do this. All right, with your eyes and mouth closed, focus your full attention on the incoming and outgoing breath at the entrance of your nostrils. There's a sensitive area below your nostrils and above the upper lip where you can feel the touch of your breath. And if you have trouble locating your breath, you may breathe slightly harder once or twice. Once you feel the touch of your breath, return to natural breath, normal breath. Let the detail of your breath pull you in closer, closer into the present moment. If your breath is shallow, let it be shallow. If your breath is deep, let it be deep. If it's more in the left nostril, let it be the left nostril. If it's more in the right nostril, let it be the right nostril. Or if it's in both nostrils, let it be both. Notice the temperature of the incoming breath. Notice the temperature of the outgoing breath. And notice if there's a difference. Notice the pace of the incoming breath. Notice the pace of the outgoing breath. And notice if there's a difference. Notice the length of the incoming breath. Notice the length of the outgoing breath. And notice if there's a difference. Notice the pause at the end of your inhale. Notice the pause at the end of your exhale. And notice if there's a difference. And whenever you find that your mind has wandered, simply notice it. And without frustration, without dismay, but with full acceptance, bring your attention back to the incoming and outgoing breath at the entrance of your nostrils. Natural breath. Normal breath. Observe your breath as it is, without wanting it to be different. And whenever you're ready, you can gradually blink open your eyes. Come back to the room that you're in. Notice your environment. Notice yourself and your environment. Notice your peace, your presence, and your stillness. Stillness is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of consciousness, the one consciousness. Thank you all for joining this week. Keep the connection going, take it out into the world with you, and spread the light that you are. See you next time.